Welcome, everyone, to the Washington Wrestle Talk podcast. It is so nice to be back on the air. It has been quite some time since I've been on the air. The last time I was on was back in June. So, this past weekend, there was an event in Las Vegas. It was the Infamous Sports Karma Club fundraiser, and it was hosted by none other than Miss Jennifer Thomas, who actually is a friend to the show. However, there has been some things that have been going on. And I've been getting emails from a certain someone. So, and I'm going to read these verbatim. So, the first email that I got was from sessionsafe.org. And it said, a new wrestling girl has been discovered in your area. Here is her info. And it gave the picture of a woman from Zurich, Switzerland, with a link directly to her Session Girl's profile. I didn't think any of it at the time. Then I got another one the same day about another, and it said the exact same thing. A new wrestling girl has been discovered in your area. Here's her info. This time she was from San Diego, California. And I'm withholding their names here out of respect and privacy. But also, it linked to her Session Girl's profile. And then a third one came for a girl in Cleveland. And the same message. A new wrestling girl has been discovered in your area. Here is her info. I am nowhere near Zurich, Switzerland, Cleveland, Ohio, or San Diego, okay? I'm in Vancouver, Washington, which is just across the Columbia River from Portland, Oregon. So I responded with an email this past Monday, last week, that said, so, how is it that you got my email address? Using the same email address that sent these three messages. It did not, it was unable to deliver the message, and I thought nothing of it. And then I went on the Session Safe website and noticed that everything was legitimately copied and pasted from all of the Session Girls website. So the response I got was, in 2022, the Session Girls code base forked. So you probably signed up to the Session Girls before 2022 from Steve Quezadas. And then I responded, please remove me from your list. I don't appreciate you and what you're doing. This just gives me ammo for my podcast now. His response was, and this is on the 17th, this past Tuesday, I don't get it. What exactly am I doing, and how do you not appreciate it? Also, what is your podcast, and what is the ammo? So, let's backtrack for a second here. In 2019, when, I had covered the first Session Girls event, prior to that, I had a banner link on the Session Girls website to the Washington Wrestle Talk podcast. which linked to either Spreaker, Spotify, or iHeartRadio at the time. So either this guy's delusional or he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So I responded was, you know what you're doing, Steve. It is illegal for you to be having ladies' profiles without their consent or permission, which is true. It is also illegal for you to be sending me the same information when I did not consent to receive these updates. As far as my podcast goes, I'm sure you've heard of it, the Washington Wrestle Talk, which he probably has. He just probably, somehow in his warped delusional mind, he forgot. I mean, it's only been 2 years, really. As for the MO goes, well, it speaks for itself. I have seen other emails from an anonymous source that just tells me the kind of guy this jackass is. I liken him to a stain on the underwear of life, a boil on the ass cheek of life, if you will. So his response was, no, the profiles listed on my site are either the girls that agreed to be on there, a lie, girls that have been reported for something like scamming, probably another lie. The search results may be inaccurate, well, that probably is true, but I haven't released it yet, and if there's some bugs, I'm fixing them. There are guys that sign up for travel updates. If they want to opt out, they are free too. But this is what they requested, and Jennifer's unable to fill that request. And I think that's a load of total bullshit, to be real honest. I have never heard of the Washington Wrestle Talk, which is another lie. If you go back to 2019, you dumb shit, I had a banner on their site. Come on now. It doesn't, you don't have to be able to split atoms to figure that one out. Number 4, Jennifer already knows about it and my site, and I have her blessing, which, by the way, is a total fabrication, a falsification of the facts, a lie, total bullshit, what have you. In fact, the main header on Session Girls will point to my scammers page, and I can prove this. I can call her at any moment, and she will do it, but the site is pre-release right now. Bullshit. I've heard what kind of guy you are, too, Steve. I've heard it from multiple people that you're delusional, you're just doing it for attention, you're butthurt because you didn't get an invite to this past weekend's event, whereas I did, and unfortunately I couldn't because of a family situation here. Number 5, you don't know Jennifer like I do. I walk her dog Daisy regularly. You probably even don't know who Daisy is. I found out later that that's a total lie as well. And number 6, you can't do shit and I'm not afraid. Well, you should be afraid, and I can do shit because I've interviewed and I know more session wrestlers that hate your fucking guts than anything. I'm just totally flabbergasted by you. And then he has the audacity to send me yet another email. Begin PGP signed message. This is Steve, former moderator of Session Girls and 10-year angel investor. To let you know what Jennifer Thomas did to me, I spent 10 years of my life and 80-plus hour weeks getting Session Girls off the ground, not to mention a considerable amount of money. I worked my ass off, and Jennifer did not give me the 50-50 spread like she initially promised. And I think that's a little bullshit, too. Instead, she told me that 100-0 is more appropriate. She then changed all the passwords and formed the company 100% in her name, so I'm completely locked out and left with nothing. I wonder why. Session Girls would not be in the position it were in today if it weren't for me. There's some bullshit right there. Jennifer explicitly told me she's paying me 0 back for all the work I put in. Well, that's bullshit too, I think. I'm still sponsoring Uber travels for those interested, but I wanted you to know what Jen is like, and I've heard that is also bullshit as well. Dude, you have verbal diarrhea of the mouth. You don't know when to shut up. You don't know when you're digging a hole. so far into the grave that there's just, I mean, I'm just absolutely gobsmacked at how stupid, delusional, and just out of touch you really are. And then, to top it off, 3 days ago, this past Friday, are you going to the Session Girls event in Las Vegas? I didn't respond. And then I get this. And this was 2 days ago, Saturday at 1:04 in the afternoon. Can you answer the previous questions about my website? Here they are for convenience. What was your overall impression of the site? Well, my overall impression of the site was it's a bootleg version of Session Girls. How did it strike you? It looked like shit, to be real honest. What was the item on the webpage that drawed your attention? The fact that you're copying and pasting girls' travel schedules. I mean, it's just absolute total bullshit that you're doing this without their consent. What feature did you use? Nothing other than the contact me form telling you to remove my email. You dumb son of a bitch. Did you use a cell phone or a computer? A cell phone, you retard. Did you perform any searches? No, because one look at Session Safe and I could tell right away that it was a total ripoff. And I have not heard anything since. I have spoken, however, to certain people, such as my good friend, Mr. Hans Vanderkill, who so eloquently called him odd. He's literally like a bug buzzing around people's head. But I'm sure he probably feels left out and it's probably driving him even more insane. And then Hans also goes on to say he plays mind games all the time. That Daisy line was to be such a mind fuck. No way does he walk her dog nowadays. Maybe he did before the fallout. He just lies about stuff he thinks people won't be able to corroborate. Classic narcissistic behavior for sure. Hans, I agree with you, man. We're going to have to go out for some beers. Either you come up here or I go down there, or I go over there. One of the two, but yeah, we are definitely going for beers after this. And of course, I do love some of the emails that I've been getting from people that it's just it's just comical how many people hate this guy, and it's like I told a certain someone, a friend of the show, of course. Never throw rocks at a man who has a machine gun. Classic Roddy Piper line there. And some of the I received some emails that I won't say unless I have absolute permission, which I'm going to see if I can. Sorry, it's taking a little bit longer. But yeah, it's just absolutely mind-boggling at how one man's downfall. It sounds like he has some mental health issues. It really does, but it doesn't excuse the fact that he's been sending threatening emails to certain people. Tried to send one to me, and that absolutely doesn't work. But it's just absolutely appallingly ridiculous at how some people can be. And so I do have permission, but I will not name names. So there is one email that he says he will be sponsoring $150 Uber travel vouchers to said event that was this past weekend. I don't see that. He sent an email. And his email address is rather interesting too. And it says, Session Girls event coming up in 10 days. I'm going to enjoy watching you girls fail. So, yeah, that just tells you what kind of dick he really is. And he sent another email that really just makes me upset and pissed off. He asked a certain someone, what is it like to be poor? This fucking idiot. And, people, he was emailing people that just, oh my God in heaven. I'm at a loss with this guy. He also sent another email saying, how's the event going without my funding? I'm dying to know. And that's a classic dick move. And it's just like, dude, if anybody's going to fail, man, it's you. And that's no joke, all right? That is no fucking joke. I'm just flabbergasted. Either you have mental health problems or you're just really that fucking narcissistically delusional. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. But, I've made my points by, calling you out, saying that, yeah, you're a fucking liar, dude. In fact, you probably met me at the first Session Girls event and didn't even realize it. I was the one holding the cell phone podcasting the entire time. How's that for irony? And you say you never heard of my show. Jesus God almighty. I'm just so frustrated, angered. Don't screw with the people in this industry that work hard to make events like this past weekend happen. Okay? Yeah, you may have given funding for one event, or, big deal, that's one event. But you know what? They're doing just fine without you. And the fact for you to want them to fail, that just goes beyond dick move, man. That's just poor taste. That's bitterness. And that just goes to prove that, nobody likes you anymore. You're old news, dude. So, pack up your shit. Get the fuck out of the industry. I got nothing else to say about this asshole. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. I have nothing good to say. Thank God this is uncensored. Well, actually, it's going on YouTube now too. So, I don't know if YouTube's going to censor me or not, but I don't fucking care, to be real honest. Okay, so let's just get that thrown out right there. Yes, both the Washington Wrestle Talk and the Washington Craft Brew Talk are now available on YouTube. I'm just absolutely mind-boggled by how incredibly asinine this whole thing is. And I guess the event went down pretty well. Of course, I've been seeing photos from it, and, it did look pretty cool. Some people I know have been traveling back home either yesterday or today. But, like I said, unfortunately, I couldn't make it this year because of a family medical issue. And so hopefully next year we'll be well on our way there. I also want to take the time right now to thank everyone that's reached out to me regarding my mom's ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, diagnosis. To give you an update, she's doing all right. However, we are getting ready to put her into a care facility, hopefully in the next month or so. So that's going to really take the burden out of myself and my father from caring for her. And also, I got to make sure that my dad doesn't do anything stupid anymore. I can't always be there. But I just found out today that Sybil Starr, a former guest of the show, is coming to Portland in November. So maybe I can finally get her to come back on the show without a Wi-Fi connection drop. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for me for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out all the other episodes on YouTube, on Spreaker, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, the Internet Movie Database, Podchaser, wherever you get your podcast fix. I'm no longer the Heavy Metal Jesus. I am the Metal Messiah from now on. Okay, I'm the Metal Messiah. So this is the Metal Messiah, Mr. Mike Jolly, signing off, and I'll try not to be such a stranger anymore, even though I've been doing my football podcast, the Washington State Football Talk, every Sunday, typically at 1 p.m., usually before the morning's NFL games are finished. So check that one out. And we'll see you on the next episode. And also check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/MikeWah31. I do taste test reviews, lottery scratch ticket videos, live lottery scratch videos, the whole 9 yards. And I just had my 100th subscriber. Only took me 14 years to do it, but I did it. So this Wednesday will be my 100th subscriber special live. Going to be doing some cool stuff there. Excuse me. But for now, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to enjoy my dinner. And thank you for listening. I love you all. And good night from the Washington Wrestle Talk podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. And I won't try to make it 3 months. Until then, take care. Be safe. And good night. See you soon.